All right, everyone. Good afternoon. Thank you for joining us today for our Wednesday webinar series. I'm joined here today with Robert Morris, and you guys are in for such a treat. Robert Morris graduated from Middle Tennessee State University with a Bachelor of Science degree. He entered real estate in 1985 and has been actively involved in real estate sales and training. He has served as a subject matter expert for the development of the NAR At Home with Diversity and LEAD DEI courses. He instructs the NAR Bias Override Overcoming Barriers to Fair Housing course, as well as several additional NAR designations and certification courses. He is a leadership consultant and trainer with Dynamic Directions, Inc. Robert has been honored as Realtor of the Year and Tennessee Realtor Educator of the Year. He has been accepted as a candidate into the 2022 NAR Leadership Academy class and serves as the NAR director. He has conducted seminars, workshops, and conferences for countless numbers of conventions and associations throughout the country, and is committed to raising the bar in our industry and making a positive difference in the lives of everyone he meets. We are fortunate that he will be teaching for us live in person on December 9th to offer NAR's At Home with Diversity certification course right here in our West Babylon location. To tell us more about this important and prestigious certification and more, we welcome Robert.
Wow, Evan, I tell you, I don't know who that guy was that you were talking about, man, but he sounds like he's a real stud of a guy. So thank you so much for having me this morning. And for all of you in the audience, it's great to be able to reach out to you with this new technology we call Zoom. Yes, I'm going to be live with you in December, and I'm looking forward to it. But without any further ado, let's talk about designations and certifications. Why would we earn them in the first place? What do they matter? And we always hear different nuances about designations and certifications. So I showed up to give you just a little bit of clarity. You already heard a lot of stuff about me, and it's the only things I would add to what Evan is saying is I am now officially a graduate of the NAR Leadership Academy for 2022 because we actually were celebrated and graduated in the hurricane down in Orlando this past week or so. And I also was inducted into the REBAC Hall of Fame for 2022. So I had a great week. People just all around me. I mean, it was really fantastic, and I could not have thrown out more money to make it rain than I did on that return. So it was great to see all of those pieces. But anyway, enough about that. Why would we earn designations and certifications, and what does it really matter? A couple of things I put together for us just so that we have top of mind awareness. One, we want to enhance and we want to improve your knowledge base. It is said that the more we know, the easier the transactions become for us. So that's always a good piece that we have, that we make it seem easy. We make it appear easy to our clients. And that's one of those big things of them not really knowing what we do. But the knowledge base is increased. Also, your value proposition, your why. Why do you do what you do? What is it that you do for your customers and clients? What is it that they need to know about it? So the value proposition is enhanced when you actually have more education and knowledge. There is also going to be your point of difference. Not everybody has what you have. Not everybody has gone through what you've gone through and the commitment that they have toward our professionalism. So your designations and certifications say that you have a commitment to excellence in your chosen field of endeavor, which happens to be the real estate business. It's not that you just wanted to be in the business, but you actually wanted to really be involved and know as many nuances as you can to help your customers and clients, I would say, realize the American dream. Or to help them own a property that they didn't know that they could own before. So there are really concrete reasons of why you might want to earn your designation certification and why does it matter. Now, LIBOR is actually putting this on as one of these webinars because the National Association of Realtors has designated November as Designation Awareness Month. And that means that it's a great time to go that extra mile, as they say, present yourself, set you apart from your competition and whatnot. So this is very timely that we're talking about this. And we're going to introduce you to the Center for Realtor Development, or CRD. That is the arm of NAR that actually houses a lot of these designations and certifications. So with that in mind, we know that we are in a highly saturated market. Right now at the national meetings, we went over 1.6 million realtors officially at that meeting. So we're still having people who want to come into our business. They're loving the opportunities that they get to help serve and help people own a piece of America. So that's a good thing. But how do you stand out from the crowd? And how do you market yourself to your consumers? Since they have so many choices that are out there, what separates you from all the rest of our realtor family in what it is that you do? Well, the answer would be the Center for Realtor Development. And with that, we say that that is the home of exceptional education, where we can earn our credential or several credentials and discover personalized learning experiences from them. Now, here's what I want you to know before I introduce you to all these different acronyms, is that they can both be had online and in classroom format. So not all of them are offered in the live classroom. Not all of them are offered in the virtual format, but there is a combination where you may be able to attain these designations and certifications by way of one of the other delivery systems that we have. So let's take a look at the National Association of Realtors and the designations and certifications that they have. Let's do designations first. And some of you have earned these. Those of you who have, congratulations to you. Those of you who might be looking and not really sure what they are, those are going to be some things that we'll introduce you to. But like the ABR designation, the accredited buyer representative, just like it says, that's emphasis for those who want to really hone their skills in working with, representing, negotiating for, understanding the buyer side of the transaction. And that's one of the biggest pieces that we've been talking about with some of these lawsuits we got going through DOJ. What is your value proposition? What is that you bring to the table? What is it that the consumer is getting from you as a professional realtor? And that's one of the courses we use for that. And then, of course, we have the SIPS, which is the International Property Specialist. If you are interested in international at all, and we always say that the market has become global in nature instead of just what we call regional or local. So that might be something of interest. Of course, the green designation and several different categories of green, that has always been and becoming more and more prevalent that buyers are looking for today. If you want to specialize in the senior real estate market, that's the SRES designation. And working with seniors is going to be different than doing our normal everyday transaction, because they got a lot of things going on and they don't want to leave their home and they got stuff that they got to transition to. And then they've got health concerns. And of course they have their kids who are more likely going to be the ones that you're dealing with when we're talking about selling these particular properties. So we take you through that. That's a 2-day course. And then of course your Graduate Realtor Institute, the GRI designation, 96 hours or so of in-depth knowledge to get you launched in your career. These are the designations that are found under the National Association of Realtors. Now, let's talk about the certifications, because they are different. The certifications, like the one that we'll be bringing to LIBOR next month, the At Home with Diversity certification, 1-day course. As a matter of fact, all of these certification courses are 1-day courses. The ePro, well, actually maybe 2, because it'll be an online day and a live day, or both days online. Military relocation professional, of how we help our military families and service members relocate around the country and around the world. That's a specialization there. We have the Pricing Strategies Advisor, where we introduce you to the ally called the Appraiser, and how they look at valuating properties and so forth. And we take you through a day of 13 or 14 properties that you actually have to do the appraisal pieces on to see how we come up with the numbers similar to what appraisers do and what they do and how we differ in what we do. resource and second home property specialist, just what it says, those who are specializing in those areas. And then last but not least, we have the short sales and foreclosure resource. Now, we're hoping that that doesn't trickle up as much, but it's been said that that's probably going to reignite itself. So to be prepared for those people that we need to help, that is a certification course as well. So I've given you 5 designation courses and I've given you 6 certification courses. So the normal question that you might ask me is, well, what's the difference? That's a quality thought, and I'm glad you had it. So here's how I would explain it to you this way. We own our certifications while we rent our designations. And so I like to use the words that are synonymous with our industry so that we'd understand a little bit more. So what do you mean, Robert? We own our certifications. Once you actually take a certification course, you meet all the criteria, you submit your application and your one-time fee, and you earn that certification, you forever own that certification. And therefore, there's no additional monies that you'd have to pay or anything like that to maintain those certifications other than keeping an active membership in the National Association of Realtors. On the other hand, the designations that we earn, we rent them. They are under the institutes that are there. They're an ongoing, living, breathing organism. They have a lot of, at the national meetings, they have the welcome receptions, they have the membership town halls, they have the education days. There's more involved in the designation side as opposed to the certification side. And therefore, every renewal cycle, whether it be every year and a half, it is required that you pay your dues to maintain your membership actively in designations and to be able to display the alphabet. Once you earn certifications, you can display the alphabet forever and a day. There's no additional pieces or cost. On your designations that you have, we rent those, so we would have an ongoing yearly dues that we actually pay to be able to display the letters and to take all the other benefits that are done in the designations side of the equation. So just wanted to have that to be clear so that you all would have the understanding of what that would be. So let's look at them one more time just to make sure we got them. ABR, SIPS, Green, SRES, and Graduate Realtor Institute. These are the designations that are found under the National Association of Realtors.
Robert, I'm so sorry to interrupt it. We actually have a question.
Awesome.
If you let your designation lapse, for lack of a better term, how long can you let it lapse before you would have to retake the course again to get recertified?
Great question, Evan. Thank you for asking it, or the person sharing it. That will vary from institute to institute. Normally speaking, if you have done the work to earn your accreditation, your credential, and you let it lapse, it's a matter of calling that institute or society up and says, hey, I didn't renew last year. What is the renewal fee for me to actually pay this time to get it reactivated? I am not aware of any situation where they make you take the course over again. It's not like your real estate license, and if you're inactive for a longer period of time, then you have to go retake the course. That is not the way the designations and certifications are set up.
Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. Thank you for the question. All right, now that we're in tune, because you guys are in tune, that always makes an instructor feel good that there's some people who are actually listening in and gleaning a few things. So feel free to ask questions anytime. Evan's looking at the chat, and if you want to, it's okay. We'll entertain those, and maybe we'll have our Q&A at the end if there's some additional questions that you might have. Well, let's talk about the certification, because that's what's coming to your area next month. At Home with Diversity is a one-day certification course. I'll give you more about it. The ePro course, the Military Relocation Professional, the PSA, the Resort and Second Home, and short sales and foreclosures. But let's talk about the one that's coming to you. The At Home with Diversity course. The title is Expanding Your Business and Horizons cultivating multicultural relationships is good for business. That's the subheading that we want to look at. So what's entailed in the At Home with Diversity certification? Well, what's going to be happening is we're going to look at the course that transcends cultural barriers. We're going to have an educational experience that I promise you is going to be a great one, fun, interactive, and informative, designed to present a picture of the changing face of real estate industry. Right now, in all of our marketplaces, we know we have a gamut of individuals coming into our marketplaces from everywhere. And we want to talk about how do we do business with them? How do we look approachable to them? How do we broaden our tent? How do we widen our business opportunity to strengthen our business and to service more people, which means that we'll make more profit in the interim based on that. We're going to talk about the dynamic and interactive format that we use to facilitate open discussion among all of our students in the room. We'll talk about stereotype and what does it mean? And have you ever been subjected to whatever those things are, and how did it make you feel? And we'll talk about, is the United States a melting pot, or is it more like a stew or a salad bowl? And if so, why? What makes it one or the other? And we have these interactions and the group discussions, and we come up with varying degrees of answers, which are all correct. And we make sure that we grow and learn during this process. We're going to address the issues of diversity, fair housing, and cultural differences. And we'll help you build an inclusive business and a marketing plan. So even if you already have a business plan that you're using, I might ask some basic questions of you. I might ask you the question, okay, in your last 12 months of real estate transactions, how many people have you sold homes to that didn't look like you? So we pose that question. That question will come up and says, okay, is my business really diversifying in an area? And then I might ask a question, if I were in a particular category of a disability, say it was hearing or seeing, and I wanted to look at properties on your website, could I do so with the disability that I have? Or do you not address that at all based on what your website is? So we might ask the question, or I might even have one more question. I might even say that if you hand out printed materials, have you considered doing it in any other font size other than Times New Roman 10 point? Because you may be dealing with a customer base that would really benefit from it being 14 point. So when we talk about all of these different pieces and the cultural pieces and the diversity pieces, how do you build an inclusive business and a marketing plan that makes you more welcoming to more groups of people? We go into that and we have great discussion on it, and it's a growing process. So here's what the learning outcomes of the course are. To develop and increase awareness of our culture and personal biases, you know, those things that may inhibit us from fully embracing diversity and creating a multicultural real estate business. And then we're looking to learn inclusive, multicultural marketing and advertising strategies. Just like I said, how's my website positioned? Do I encompass as many people? Do I have a multilingual agent on my team or not? Or do I have someone who can put my marketing together where I'm using different font sizes depending on the outreach of the piece that I'm trying to send out? Who is the customer or the client that I'm trying to reach? Those kinds of things. And at the end of the day, we look at helping you be set up to formulate an inclusive business plan. And that means that we want to, to give you the tools. We have the SWOT analysis pieces. We'll have everything in the course that when you leave, you can sit down with your favorite beverage in your favorite place and think about how might you be more inclusive in your business? What would be some things that you might tweak or add to actually be able to do that, to broaden your tent and to widen your business, to strengthen it, make it more stable, and be more profitable. Those are the learning outcomes. And then if we talk about it, here are the modules that we'll go through. Module 1 is going to be the foundation of a better business. What is embracing diversity and what does it really mean? We talk about it all the time, but what does it really mean to embrace diversity? And we'll go through all those pieces. In module 2, we're going to take a look back. We're going to look at housing policy, past and present. Because in order to know where we're going, we have to know where we came from. And so we put all of those pieces together and says, here's where and how we build a better housing market. In module 3, we talk about the One America principles, of which the At Home with Diversity course was actually based on back in 1970 when it came to be. So we talk about those One America principles and how we build on them, along with the equal professional services model. In that if we do that to every customer and client, we are less apt to have any kind of issues on a fair housing basis at all. Module 4, how do we become a diversity warrior? We're going to look at combating biases to create a thriving business. What are some of the nuances and the inferences that we could actually correct so that we would not be inadvertently insulting, or that we would not be miscommunicating with others that may be different than us? We talk about the kiss, bow, shake hands, and how we actually make all of these pieces work. Modules 5 and 6, we're pushing to get you ready for those. We don't necessarily cover those in class because they're in depth. We do talk about your inclusive multicultural marketing pieces. And then in module 6, creating your inclusive business plan is actually done in your own time. But you'll have all of the pieces once you finish the completion of this course to be able to go in to creating your own inclusive business plan. That's what we do. That's what that course is about. And I tell you, I enjoy teaching it. It is a fun course. It is an immersive course. It is one that we are totally involved in, and we get a lot of feedback and conversation as we go through the day. That's what you can look forward to. Now, how do you earn this particular certification? That might be a question some of you might want to ponder. Well, I'll give it to you. To become an At Home with Diversity certified warrior, so to speak, you got to complete the course. So snatching the pebble from my hand, grasshoppers, is the first step that we'll have. The second step is to maintain an active membership that is in good standing with the National Association of Realtors, which means your state association and your local association as well. So that's how we get that piece. The third thing will be, after you complete the course, once the information is sent in to national, somewhere between 10 days, 2 weeks, they'll send you an email. And it will have on it steps of how to pay the one-time application fee of $75. Now, remember when I told you on certifications, you own them. So once you finish this, there is no other pieces that you would have. Now, the $75 that you'd have, of course, there are going to be several benefits. There's marketing pieces that we have. There's resources that are actually made available to you. Of course, the networking with other people who are certified and At Home with Diversity is there, referral opportunities and more. So you're going to get a lot of bang for your buck, even at that one-time fee that you have. But I know that some of you know that we're approaching the season of giving. So I thought I'd let you know about a couple of things that are happening to the end of the year. NAR is offering a discount for the At Home with Diversity application fee from $75 to $40. And they're offering this through the end of the year. So those of you who would be coming in to take the course at LIBOR in December, then you would actually be able to get your paperwork in to be able to take advantage of this particular discount. I have not been made aware of whether or not it will be continued for next year or not. That's NAR's call, but I did want you to know that through the remainder of this year, there is going to be a $35 reduction on that one-time application fee. Now, if that's not enough for you, let me give you another one that you may not have been aware of. Once you have obtained the At Home with Diversity certification, it counts as an elective toward 3 other designation courses. So if you had ambitions of working on your ABR or your SIPs, your CIPS, or your SRS, which is your seller representative specialist designations. The certification at Home with Diversity serves as your elective in either of those three or all of those three designations. So that's called a double dip. So you kind of get a bonus by that. Additionally, because you didn't know, those of you who are working on your C2EX endorsement, having the At Home with Diversity certification counts toward 3 tasks on the C2EX platform as well. So you got to get all of these double dips and bonuses, based on having your At Home with Diversity certification. Just having it is a huge plus, but look at the other pieces that we get based on what that is. That's how you become certified in At Home with Diversity. Evan, do we have any questions? Anybody need anything so far?
It looks like we're good right now, but I do actually wanted to just say a little something. I actually took the At Home with Diversity with you back in 2020 when NAR hosted it. It completed my CIPS, which I got, and my C2X. So it was the key to open up a bunch of new doors for me. So it's funny to hear you talk about this.
Oh, excellent, Evan. Excellent.
Awesome. Yeah, I'll keep you posted if there's any questions or anything.
Okay. All right. Thank you. All right, if we go through, those are kinds of things that we talk about as benefits for you, but this is what we got coming. So if you want any more information about the At Home with Diversity certification, you can go to nar.realtor/AHWD, At Home with Diversity. And that's where you can get additional information about this particular certification. I'm going to give it to you one more time. As Evan had already said to you, this course is coming to you at the location that he talked about on December the 9th. I would encourage all of you to secure your spot now because it's going to be good. And this is a promise coming directly from the instructor who's going to show up to be able to share it with you. So that's kind of what we got going. I'd love to see your smiling face in the place on December the 9th. Now, let's talk about a little bit more because we wanted to put emphasis on the At Home Diversity course because it's coming to you, it's coming to your area, and I'm going to deliver it. But the other pieces that we want you to know about, because some people say, well, what about the others? What about the other pieces? So I just want to give you a little bit of knowledge, background based on those. I just shared with you the National Association of Realtors designations and certification courses. They fit under the umbrella of the National Association of Realtors directly. But we have these groups called our institutes and societies, better referred to as our affiliated organizations. And our affiliated organizations have their very own designations or certification programs themselves. So under NAR's umbrella, I gave you 5 designations and 6 certifications. But also affiliated under our organizations, you've got CCIM and the Residential Real Estate Council and IREM and Women's Council and REBAC with ABR. You got REBI with the CRB and the RENE certifications. You got Councils of Real Estate, SIOR. You got the Land Institute. So depending on what your interest is, there is probably some additional training and education that you can get to become the consummate real estate professional in the chosen area that you wanted to put emphasis in. So I want you to remember that. Those of you who might want to do commercial, the CCIM is the, I'd say the Cadillac of what that would be. And there's a number of courses that you would take with that. But just to give you an idea of the power of that particular designation, anybody coming out of college, and this was like 10 years ago, with a CCIM would probably be hired by Trammell Crow or one of the huge companies, and they would come out automatically with a 6-figure income. That is a huge, huge professional designation to have, particularly if you're in the commercial investment arena. The RRC is the CRS. That's the most coveted designation for residential real estate sales. That's under their umbrella. Women's Council has the Performance Management Network, the PMN. That's on leadership quality skills for Women's Council, the ABR. Under REBAC, accredited buyer. Under REBI, which is the Real Estate Business Institute, you get the CRB, Certified Residential Broker. You get the SRS, which is the Seller Representative Specialist designation. And then you can get 2 certifications, which one would be RENE, Real Estate Negotiation Expert, and CRETS, which is a Certified Team Specialist designation. So all of these affiliated groups as well do offer higher education and concentration in a field of study that you may be interested in doing in your real estate career. So there's a lot of pieces that are out here, a lot of different moving pieces, but I try to make to have a little bit of sense of what they may look like. So here's a question that you would ask me then. Okay, then, Robert, so what should I do? And I get asked this question a lot by brokers of saying, what should they recommend to their agents to do? I get asked by agents, well, if you were me at this stage of my career, what would you do or whatever? So I'm going to give you a little insight as to how we trend the courses, just a little bit, so you'll know, not every course, but most of them. We have this little survey called the Buyer Seller Profile, where NAR surveys the people who use realtors. And this report runs 1 year in arrears. So when it comes out for 2022, it's data for 2021. When it comes out in 2023, it's for data in 2022. And they ask basic questions that I think most of you all are aware of. What buyers want most? And based on the survey that we got last year, they says, well, we want help to find the right home to purchase. We want help to negotiate the terms of the sale. And we want help to negotiate the price. Now, I want you to understand the emphasis there. So with us, we're looking at it as educators and we're saying, wait a minute, we got to make sure our realtor family is prepared in these areas where buyers want them to be prepared. So help them find the right home. ABR, accredited buyer representative, of how we work with buyers and buyers' wants and needs and desires, and what does that look like? Help them negotiate terms. We look at RENE, Real Estate Negotiation Expert. They say they want somebody who can be in the trenches, who can work deals. Here's option A, option B, option C. What should I default to? What can I expect? Is it a buyer's market, seller's market, equal market? So in this market, what could I ask for? If it's this way, in this market, what could I ask for? And then they say we need help with pricing, PSA, Pricing Strategies Advisor certification. We have had over the last 3 years, more agents get in trouble for underpricing, or let me just put it this way, mispricing homes, maybe leaving money on the table for sellers, or in a sense, having buyers pay too much. Now, we know that they make the decisions themselves, but that doesn't keep us in our litigious society for doing that. So when we look at it as educators, we look at what the buyer said they wanted most. And then we switch the emphasis in the courses that we feel that the real estate family would need to hone up on to make sure they're providing that value proposition for them. On the seller side, what sellers want most from real estate agents. So we looked at the data and it said, well, we want help to price our home competitively. Okay, so they came back and they gave it to us again. Guess what? Pricing strategies and SRS, the Seller Representative Specialist course, to help on the seller side of the transaction so that we become familiar with all aspects of how we help sellers maximize their return on their investment. So here's what I'll tell you, as I gave you that little secret. You can go where your association gives you great information on training, but if you just wanted to know, you can go to Training for Real Estate, which is trainingforre.com, and you can put in a course topic, you can put in a title, you can put in a designation or certification that you may be working on, and you can find courses offered all across our system. as to where they might be. Are they virtual courses? Are they live in-person courses that you guys could go to and find out if you wanted to work on any particular designation or certification? Now, here's another caveat that I will throw in just to make sure that you got it. Because the real estate business is global now and not necessarily local, I would recommend that some of you take classes outside of your jurisdiction. You know that there are tax deductible pieces that you have, part of doing your business. But the networking and the referrals that you gain by going to different areas and putting different faces and names so that people are familiar with you is absolutely priceless. And the friendships that you create along the way are like an extra added bonus. So if you could get courses outside of your area, and say if they're in a nice area, you know, we have the U.S. territories. So when there's not hurricane season, you might want to take one in the Bahamas, or you might want to take one in the Virgin Islands or Samoa. Those are U.S. territories. So we offer courses in those particular. You want to go to Hawaii, or you go to Alaska during the whale watching season. We offer courses in different areas of the country and U.S. territories. So who knows? And we even have a global reach. So if you decide you wanted to be in Spain, or you wanted to be in England or something, you can see if we're having any global courses being offered in those areas as well. So I wanted to just enlighten you on this. This is a huge area. Yes, this month is designation and certification month, but I would dare say to you, this is a huge area where you can really grow your business and hone in on what your value proposition is. So I'll start to wind it down this way. Advantages of earning your designations and certifications. One, we always have the old adage, work harder, not smart. Work smarter, not harder. Well, when we talk to people about it, I'll ask people and says, okay, did you have a great year? They say, yeah, I did 15 million, 20 million. I says, okay, how long did it take you? Well, I had to work 100 hours a week. I says, now, if I could show you how you can make the same amount of money only working 80 hours or 40 hours a week, would it be worth it to you? I always tell people, you don't have to have certifications and designations to make money. It's been proven that you don't need any of them to make any money. But if we're working smarter and not harder, it is definitely an advantage. So if you look at all the statistical data that they give you on our realtor family who have designations and certifications versus the ones who have not, it's almost almost three times earning difference based on having certifications and designations. So we know that they work. We know that they help you do your business better, help you do a lot more business, help you do it quicker and easier and work out those problems. You earn more money in the process. You save more time so that you can be with the people that really matter, you know, friends and family. We don't work to live, we live to work to live. You know how people change those up. I personally, I work to live. I don't live to work. So I want to be able to spend time with the people that matter. And of course, we know about the networking and referrals. I will tell you, if you all noticed in my intro, that I have about 16 professional designations and or certifications. And I will tell you that I have not paid for a single one. And people go like, wait a minute, did you get them free? You know, what I'm saying to you is the referrals that I've gotten from the networks that I'm in based on what those designations and certifications are, I have made the money tenfold over what it cost me to maintain those on a yearly basis. Not only that, the friendships that I've created and I've made that I call ohana, like in Hawaii, my family, since I'm a coffee connoisseur, I get boxes of coffee sent from the actual coffee farms, the different ones that tourists don't get, because I have ohana in Hawaii. And then my family in Oregon and my family in Florida and my family in, what I'm suggesting to you is that this pays a lot of dividends. It pays a lot of dividends. But if none of that works for you, then here's what I will tell you. We need to raise the bar. We are having people cast shots across our bow. There are some people who don't really want us actually making money. There are people who are saying that we make too much money and that we need to maybe do something else. We have people who are looking at us. So if nothing else, here's what I suggest we do. We raise the bar. We show that we are professionals at what we do. We don't just take the minimum of anything that we have. We are committed to excellence in our chosen field of endeavor. And that when people get us, we earn every single cent of what we have, because our commitment to our dedication to our industry, all of the work that we put in, all of the things that we have. So I'm going to tell you, having more certifications and designations just put an exclamation point on your commitment to your industry and your professionalism and your expertise. So if nothing else, we need to get DOJ out of our Kool-Aid. We need to raise the bar. We need to talk about our value proposition. We need to talk about the things that we bring to the table. And nothing shows them more so than our commitment to excellence and having alphabet soup behind your name. Now, I will tell you this, because I educate a lot of people, and you all are highly educated individuals, and I am so grateful that you take the time to actually be with me today. But when you have no business, you need to go to class. And I always tell people that, and they look at me and says, well, Robert, when you have no business, you need to go to class. Because those quotes that come out says, success is where preparation and opportunity meet. So right now, if you don't have anything that you need to be working on getting prepared so that when opportunity calls, you can answer. So if you don't have anything that you got going right now, it's a great time either to get on virtual and get your educational level up, or it's a great time if you got a course that's not too far away, or if you're going to snowbird in Florida and go down and look at what kind of course they may have while you're down there doing the holidays, or just kind of look at expanding what you do, because people can't take that away from you. Once you earn that, once you learn that, then you've got it. And now when people say, well, you just look like you didn't have any problem, Robert, doing my transaction. That's why I love dealing with you. And I tell all of my friends about you. They don't have any clue as to all the fires that you had to put out. But because you were prepared, because you made the effort to make sure that you knew when these things happen, what to do and how to do, just says volumes about you and your commitment to excellence. So I'm going to tell each and every one of you, it's a plum pleasing pleasure to be able to share with you. I do look forward to seeing some of your faces in the place when I show up at LIBOR on the 9th of December. With that, I am going to say, Evan, if you have anyone with any questions, compliments, criticisms, otherwise, that I might be able to answer for you, I am available.
I don't see that there's any other questions in the chat or in the Q&A, but if anyone has any questions, please feel free to type them in now. I will be honored to ask them on your behalf. Just to, echo some of the points that you said, I am in the Facebook groups on some of the, the CIPS Facebook group, the At Home with Diversity Facebook group, and they are so active. And while I'm not a practicing real estate agent, I see the relationships that so many realtors are making through these designations. And it's really great to see just like the referrals that happen because of them and stuff like that. It's definitely a really great experience and a great tool for people that are looking to get some business outside. And with that, I think we're good to go. I am not seeing any other questions. So
Evan, have you given them all the information about the sign up for the class?
I did put it in the chat.
Okay.
I also put it in the Q&A, but I'd be happy to email everyone as well the information. It's going to be held on December 9th at our West Babylon Realtor Service Center, 346 Sunrise Highway in West Babylon. It is from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. So we hope to see you all. We still have room available in the class for you.
Awesome.
All right.
Very good.
Okay. And Robert, once again, thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. I'll see you next month.
Yes. See you then. Have a great day, everyone. Thank you.